Hey man, I'm Professor MJ and I teach statistics at a Canadian university. Would you like a thorough breakdown of what to expect from the 2020 Cincinnati Bengals? Well, this is exactly what this video is going to deliver. Keep watching until the end for more information about their offense, their defense, and also I'll say a few words about their win total, whose line is set at 5.5 by sportsbooks. I ran a statistical study that included simulating the 2020 NFL season 1 million times so that I could get a clear idea of whether to bet the over or the under for each team. So without further ado, let's dive into the Bengals 2020 preview. After making the postseason in 5 straight years, the Bengals have gone through 4 losing seasons in a row. The team reached its lowest point by finishing dead last in the entire NFL with a 2-14 record last year. Now the good thing about being the laughingstock of the league in a given year is that you get to pick first in the following draft. Cincinnati hopes to regain a winning culture through their new franchise QB, Joe Burrow. Let's talk about the quarterback position. Let the Joe Burrow era begin. According to some college football experts, he is the most accurate QB they have ever seen. Burrow completed 76% of his passes last year, which was the second best completion percentage since 1956. And he wasn't just dinking and dunking passes, he was throwing downfield quite often. One of his main strengths is above its shoulders. He is very smart, he reads defenses well, and he raises his game in big, nerve-wracking matches. He is poised in the pocket, and even though you won't confuse him with Lamar Jackson, he knows how to avoid the rush. Can Burrow lead a 2-14 team to a playoff spot? Well, that's going to be difficult. Kyler Murray was also a number 1 overall pick. He did a good job in his rookie season, and he led the Cards to go from a 3-13 record to a 5-10-1 record. As good as Burrow looked in his final college year, it would be unfair to ask him to lead Cincy to a 10-6 record right away. It will be super interesting to see how he does in his first year as a pro. It's time to talk about the running backs. Joe Mixon's 2019 season was a tale of 2 stories. During the first 8 meetings, he rushed for 320 yards, a 3.2 yards per carry average, and 0 TD on the ground. And over the final 8 games, he racked up 817 yards, a 4.6 yards per carry average, and 5 TDs. It was night and day. Mixon has the talent for sure. He topped the 1,000 rushing yard mark for the 2nd straight year, and he's still very young and fresh at 24 years old. Now last year, he ran behind an horrendous offensive line, and with a QB that struggled to move the chains. Giovani Bernard's first 3 seasons in the NFL were very promising. He would regularly pick up around 700 rushing yards while also catching around 50 balls. Now his numbers have been going down over the next 4 years, and they reached their lowest point last season. He rushed for just 170 yards along with a dreadful 3.2 yards per rush average. My gosh, what's going on with this guy? Let me say a few words about the wide receiver position. The X factor at this position is AJ Green. He missed the entire 2019 season with numerous and mysterious injuries. He openly expressed his frustration about contract negotiations going nowhere. He is working out away from the team, and it's not 100% certain that he will play this year, but the chances are fairly good since he doesn't have much leverage after missing a full season. Moreover, he is now on the wrong side of 30 years old, so it's in his best interest to play football while he still can. The team drafted T. Higgins with the first pick of the second round in this year's draft. He caught 25 TD passes in his final 2 years with Clemson. Higgins is pretty tall and he has great body control, so that makes him dangerous on deep balls and also in the red zone. He could struggle early on when facing press corners, but he will be a nice addition to this squad. Tyler Boyd set career highs with receptions with 90 and receiving yards with 1,046 last year. It was his second straight 1,000 receiving yard season. At 25 years old, the former second rounder has established himself as a very reliable target in the passing game. John Ross has yet to break out as a former number 9 overall pick. His debut season was a wasted one. He had a few injuries and he was a healthy scratch many times. He did not catch a single pass all season long. Then in his second year, he caught just 21 balls, but at least 7 of them were touchdowns. Finally, he had 28 receptions last year, while missing half the season. He got off to a hot start with 158 and 112 receiving yards in the first 2 meetings. But he averaged just 39 receiving yards the rest of the year. That was a huge disappointment. It might be his last shot to prove what he can do. Let's review the tight end position. Tyler Eifert has been the team's number 1 tight end for the past 7 years. But that's a story of the past, since he decided to join the Jaguars. He finally played a full 16-game season for the first time of his career, but he did not have jaw-dropping numbers nonetheless. Eifert's departure puts CJ Uzomah in the driver's seat as the top catching tight end on the team. He had a career-high 43 receptions in 2018, before regressing to just 27 last year. He has reached the end zone on just 7 occasions since entering the league as a 5th-round pick 5 years ago. He's a below-average tight end for sure. Drew Sample will see increased playing time in 2020 for sure. He's a very solid blocking tight end. He was picked in the 2nd round of last year's draft, despite hauling in just 46 passes in 4 college years. This won't be pretty, but let's talk about the Bengals' offensive line. This unit struggled a lot last year. Trey Hopkins started all 16 games at center last year. He was called one of the few bright spots on the offensive line, despite ranking as the 26th best center out of 37 based on the PFF rating system. So that shows you how low the bar was. Somehow, Bobby Hart remains the starting right tackle for the Bengals. He finished 75th among 80 tackles in 2018 before obtaining the number 67 spot out of 81 guys last year. In other words, he's clearly not a good protector. CORDY Glenn was the clear-cut left tackle when the 2019 season began, but he missed most of the season with concussions. The team released him during the offseason, and they are now ready to move on with Jonah the number 11 overall pick from the 2019 draft, should be ready to make his NFL debut after missing his whole rookie season with a torn labrum. Michael Jordan's rookie season was not a fairy tale. He missed a few games due to injuries, and when healthy, he was not very effective. The fourth rounder finished 77th out of 81 guards. Ouch. Billy Price has been a first-round bust so far. He earned below-average grades in his rookie season, and things got even worse last year with an abysmal 41.8 PFF mark. The only addition worth of note is Xavier Su'a-Filo, formerly of the Cowboys. He will either be a low-end starter or a backup. He has received pretty poor PFF marks in each of his past 3 years. Alright, so let's summarize the outlook for the 2020 offense for the Bengals. Joe Burrow is likely to rejuvenate the entire franchise. I do believe he'll have a nice NFL career, but I don't expect him to completely turn the team around within 1 year. Well, not as much as what most people expect him to do. Just give him some time to learn. Having AJ Green back and adding rookie T. Higgins to an already very capable receiving corps with Tyler Boyd and John Ross will provide Burrow with many pass-catching weapons. However, the tight end position suffered a downgrade following Tyler Eifert's departure to Jacksonville. More importantly, the big question mark concerns the offensive line. They are the main reason why I believe this offense won't do as well as what most people think. This group was bad last year, and there's not much hope for improvement in 2020. Having Jonah Williams back after missing his entire rookie season is good, but he's no lock to be a top left tackle in the league right away. And the other 4 starters are all clearly below average linemen. That being said, the Bengals offense finished 30th in points scored last year. I expect them to finish in the 19 to 25 range. Will Cincinnati's defense be improved in 2020? The team upgraded the interior of the line in a big way, following the acquisition of stud run stuffer DJ Reader. The safety position is also in better shape after inking Vonn Bell to a 3-year contract. The edge defenders remain the same as in 2019. The linebacker group added Josh Bynes and third-round rookie Logan Wilson, while losing Nick Vigil. I don't see any clear upgrade or downgrade here. Finally, the corner position was completely overhauled. Are Trae Waynes, Mackensie Alexander, and LeShaun Sims better than B.W. Webb, Darqueze Dennard, and Dre Kirkpatrick? Again, it seems like a wash to me, or perhaps a small game. Please note that both Geno Atkins and Carlos Dunlap are now on the wrong side of 30 years old. I'm expecting them to still play at a high level, but a drop-off is not impossible. So for all of those reasons, I will tag this unit as slightly improved. They finished 25th in terms of points allowed last year, and I anticipate them to rank in the 20 to 22 range this season. Are the Bengals going to win more or less than 5.5 games this year? Since this is one of the top 10 plays, the answer can be found in the special gold package that's available to you by following the link below. For $500, you'll get 10 picks whose return on investment all exceed 24%. Wow! That's an awesome opportunity for you if you are a sports bettor who is willing to wager at least $500 per play. Otherwise, it may not be worth it for you. I don't recommend trying to guess whether to bet Cincinnati to win over or under 5.5 games based on the comments in this video. Recall that, as explained in all other videos, the final betting tip is backed by a statistical study that uses the point spreads on all 2020 NFL regular season games, which have nothing to do with my own analysis. Now join the other sophisticated sports investors who have already bought this incredible package that contains gold information. You'll enjoy the season so much more by following how your season win totals picks are doing. I'm Professor MJ and I teach statistics at the university level. Get this great gold package now. I'll see you soon.